Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me.
Bastion is an absolute delight of a game, released in 2011 by my favorite gaming company called Supergiant Games. Right off the bat, let me tell you that this action RPG game holds a special place in my heart. It is memorable, has its unforgettable moments, and overall a joy to play. It tells a wonderfully crafted tale of loss, perseverance, hope, and a new beginning. When it comes to a rich story, in Bastion you play as a kid who wakes up to a desolate world only inhabited by unfriendly monsters called windbags. He is not sure what has happened since the destruction of everything and everyone around him is only ever described as the calamity. With everyone he knows seemingly turned to ash, the boy makes his way to the city's emergency shelter called Bastion in the hope that he'll find fellow survivors and a plan on what move to make next. What ripped the planet to pieces? Is anyone alive? What can the kid do to fix things? Surprisingly, the game's story has much more to offer than just answering these questions, as full character backstories are fleshed out, political and factional intrigue is revealed, and a twist ending leaves players with a somewhat difficult decision to make between two very similar but wholly separate choices. Guiding you on your way to the Bastion, which is the name given to the emergency shelter of the city you live in, is the voice of a narrator voiced by the talented Logan Cunningham, which will accompany you on your journey to restore the Bastion's power. The narrator spends the entire game describing events as they happen in real time, giving insight into characters' thoughts, and rattles off a constant stream of world-building lore. It is nothing groundbreaking by any means, and many of the story levels are spread out between the gathering of special but generic stones. But the story is excellently paced and packaged in its 8 to 10 hour run. Bastion also has an excellent character development that keeps you immersed from start to finish. Everything about this game feels great. The characters, the colorful graphics, the gameplay, the story, the simplicity of the controls, and most of all, the voice of the narrator. The story and narration in this game is phenomenal. The constructing environment is a great asset to this game, which has been emulated in other games. The graphics and soundtrack are timeless classics, and I can see them holding up in the future. To some, this game will have a lot of replay value, with a fun world and interesting characters. What sets this game apart from many other indie games is its gorgeous art style. As splendid as it is, the art style is simply staggering and every level is eye candy. The levels themselves are gorgeously hand-drawn and packed with artistic variety. Bastion is a beautifully written and crafted game with so much love put into it. It's a masterful combination of game design with art and well worth your time. In terms of gameplay, the combat system is well thought and balanced with a wide variety of weaponry and skills to choose from. The tight controls and a wide array of interesting and dynamic weapons lead to engaging combat. Customization allows you to tinker and experiment with different upgrades, weapon combinations, and skills, coupled with an intense yet tranquil soundtrack, and you've got yourself an enjoyable experience, my friends. Placed firmly inside of an isometric view, the kid carries two weapons at any time, selectable from a handful of unique weapons like hammers, muskets, and mortars that can be swapped out whenever one pleases. Complementing the player's choice of weaponry, the kid has a shield capable of covering his front from attack, as well as countering the enemy strikes and projectiles with well-timed reversals. He can quickly roll a solid distance to avoid incoming blows and distance himself from foes, He also comes outfitted with a small pool of healing drinks and ability-enhancing tonics. The Bastion houses a number of buildings that further bolster his quest. Drinks can be taken at the distillery to grant upgrades and abilities. Weapons can be upgraded with materials gathered from the field, won from challenges, or purchased from the store. And each upgrade gives the kid two choices that can be swapped out between one and another anytime he returns. The local shrine can be used to invoke the god's wrath in a wide variety of ways that can increase the game's difficulty, but also the amount of XP and monetary fragments the boy earns. Despite its inclusion, the XP takes a backseat to the boy's loadout and the player's skill. Each level up will take a large number of kills, but each level increases the kid's health and the number of drinks he can take at once. The gameplay is fast, lethal, and at times almost overly hectic, with 20 or so enemy types that also come in multiple sub-varieties. Players will be put to a challenging but not too difficult test as they explore what's left of Bastion's world and try not to fall off it while in combat. Area levels are varied, fun, and well placed, and just the right length. On top of all this, every weapon has a challenge unique to that weapon that will earn you extra materials and secret skills. There are a fair number of diverse boss battles provided in this game too. Bastion has a great replay value thanks to its many of its weapons and upgrade unlocks, customizations, exploration, different stages, and additional side quests that help you level up along with multiple endings. To every positive there is a negative, and this game is not without its negatives. There are some cons in this game too. There are some grinding stages needed to level up your XP, which may be repetitive for some gamers. Falling off the platform at the wrong moment can be a bit annoying at times, but which can be attributed to user error or not enough expertise with the controls of this game. Perhaps the only true drawback is the 2D environment's nature. The game can be a bit hectic at times with too many enemies on the screen, and you not getting enough breathing room to fall back. The beautifully hand-drawn detail can make the kid disappear in a heavy fray of enemies, causing confusion, cliff falls, and the occasional death, especially if the camera chooses to zoom out. I won't try to pretend like it's a perfect game in any terms of game design, because there were moments when the design felt cluttered and it wasn't always clear where pits and edges were, and occasionally enemies were obscured, but it was so rare of a problem that it failed to detract from the fun of the game. In spite of its flaws, the game is still a masterpiece, with so much beauty in the story and the fun in the gameplay. The downfalls are pretty minimal. All in all, Bastion provides a touching and a rich story with satisfying conclusion and a great narration, coupled with satisfying gameplay, and this makes Bastion one of my favorite games of all time, and I could not recommend this enough. By far my favorite title of the twin-stick variety, Bastion melts a rich narrative with gorgeous environmental design and animated soundtrack, the very same I was inspired to listen to as I type these phrases that will surely be lodged in memory, and a resonant playstyle. This title is masterfully unique in how it articulates and flows between set pieces and moments, and elicits emotion in ways very few media outlets can claim. I would recommend this game to gamers looking for a new look on games, musicians for inspiration, or doomsday fanatics looking for an interesting ending. If you enjoyed my review, please like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more reviews. Thanks everyone, and take care.